Hey everybody, it's Karen with Food and Family, and today I'm making some macaroni and cheese. I'm in the mood for it, and I'm going to make it, and I'm going to show you how I do it. I do different cheeses in mine. So I've got some water boiling, and I'm going to put some salt in my water. Now wait until your water gets to boiling to put your salt in. If you don't, it will pit the bottom of your pot, and you want to put a good amount of salt because you've got to flavor this macaroni. Now there's just two of us, y'all know that, so I'm only going to use about 1.5 cups of macaroni noodles. I'm using elbow noodles, and you can use whatever your noodle you want to use. If you want to use shells, those would be delicious because all that cheesy goodness would get up in there and stay. So I'm going to just stir this around for a minute because I don't want these noodles sticking together. I don't want to cover the pot while it's boiling because that starch will boil over. So while I've got that coming to a boil, I've had a few of you ask, how do I make my sweet tea? Well, I'm going to show you today. I have here in this jug, it's a gallon-sized jug, I've got 4 cups of cold water. Now, I may add more water. On the back of the stove here, I have 3 family-size tea bags. I used Red Diamond or Louisiana. You use your favorite, but I use 3 family size and 3/4 cup of granulated sugar. Use your judgment on how much sugar you want and how much sweetness. This is what we like. We love sweet tea, but we've tried to cut back on some sugar. So 3/4 cup is perfect for us in a gallon-sized jug. It's been steeping back there. I bring my water to a boil, and I put my tea bags in and my sugar, stir it around a minute, and I let it sit and steep for a few minutes. You'll know when it's ready. Mine's been steeping, about 5 or 6 minutes. Can you see all that goodness that's going in this pot? Now see, I told you I would need some more water. So I'm going to leave my tea bags in my pot. And I'm going to come to the sink, and I'm going to get some cold water out of the sink, and I'm going to let it run over those tea bags. Because believe it or not, there's still some goodness left in those tea bags. And I'm just going to fill my pot up again. And I'm going to stir it around, stir those tea bags around, mash them up against the side of the pot, and it gets out some more of that goodness. Okay, so let's pour in what we need to fill up this jug. And that's probably another 3 or 4 cups. And stir it around. And that sweet tea is that simple, y'all. And when I'm ready for this, I'll fill my glass up with some ice, and I'll pour this over, and I may add a little bit of lemon to it as well. I love lemon in my tea. So I'm going to get these noodles all boiled up. You want them al dente, because I'm going to actually put these in the oven today, but it's going to be a creamy macaroni and cheese. It's not going to be a stiff baked, but I am going to put it in the oven for just a few minutes because I'm going to top it with some cheesy goodness. So let me get these noodles cooked. They're going to take about, say about 10 minutes, and I'll be back with you, okay? So hang on. I'm back. I changed the view just a little bit. I'm going to take the macaroni over to the sink and drain it. I'm not going to rinse it. I'm going to drain it. It's been boiling about 10 minutes, and it is al dente. I told you we don't want to overcook it because we're going to put it in the oven for a few minutes. So let me get this drained, and we're going to add all sorts of deliciousness to it. We're going to put the macaroni back in this pot. Okay, let's leave that on because I want to melt up this cheese. I have got just over a cup of Velvetta cheese, and I'm going to put some mozzarella. Now, I'm thinking, I'll write all this down in the description box, but I'm thinking I'm going to put about 1/4 cup of mozzarella. We may look at it and say we want more. I'm going to put about 1/4 cup of cheddar. We want all this cheesy goodness. I'm making macaroni and cheese. I'm not just making noodles, right? And I have some Colby Jack. Now, I'm choosing to use prepackaged cheese. If you want to shred it yourself, that is absolutely wonderful. It would be delicious. So let's get that stirred around. Oh, and that cheese is melting. So good right now. I want to add some half and half. So I think what I want to do, I'm going to start with 1/2 cup and let's see what that looks like. And I'm going to hold this up so you can see it. I know y'all can't see down in this pot. Looky here. Can you see all that cheesy goodness? Let's add, I think I want to add about 1/2 of this stick of butter. Sounds like a lot, I know. But hey, we're making macaroni and cheese. So let's add this butter in there. Oh, God. Okay, so I added 1/2 cup of milk. I'm going to add some more. I think I'm going to add another 1/2 cup. Okay, I want this creamy. And remember, it's going to bake in the oven, and I don't want it stiff. I want it to stay creamy. Yes, so that's a full cup of milk, and I think that's the perfect amount. I'm going to add a little bit of dry mustard. I like to add a little dry mustard to mine, and I think I like it, I just don't like to overpower it. I'm going to add a heaping 1/4 teaspoon to it. Get the right lids here. Plus, I'm going to add a little paprika. You know what? I'm going to add some smoked paprika instead of regular paprika. What do you think? Let's do some smoked paprika. Same thing. About 1/4 teaspoon. Let's get a spoon and taste it right now. What do you say? All that cheesy goodness. Can you see all of that on this spoon? Oh my word. Y'all got to try this. You have got to try this. You'll believe how delicious that is. Okay, so I've got my baking dish. I've got an 8x8, and I want to spray it a little bit with a non-stick cooking spray. Don't spray it over your floor. You might fall if it sprays in the floor. So let's pour this into this baking dish. Watch that coming out. Can you see that? Oh. See there? Now, we're not finished. Let's sprinkle some cheese on top. We're going to sprinkle a little bit of Colby Jack. Colby Jack is a mixture of Colby and Monterey Jack cheese. And it is delicious. I told y'all before, I love Colby. We're going to use some cheddar cheese. I'm using mild. I love sharp, I just don't have any. But if you have sharp cheese, use it if that's what you like. If you don't, that's fine too, either way. And I'm gonna add a little bit of mozzarella. And you know what? I think I'm gonna add one more thing. And what do you say we add a little parmesan on top? Yes, it's the kind in the refrigerator with the green top. That's okay, it's still good. Let's just sprinkle some on top. Look here. Is that not gorgeous? Now I'm going to pop this in the oven. I have my oven preheating to 350 degrees. So I'm going to pop that in, and I'm just going to let this melt and get bubbly on the top, and then we're going to come back and try it. So our macaroni and cheese has been in the oven for 15 minutes. I turned it on 15 minutes because I wanted it good and bubbly and melty, and the timer's about to go off. So I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna get it out of the oven, and we're gonna dip us up a bowl. Look at there, look at there. Oh. Let's close this door. Yeah, it's bubbling around the edges. And I know it's going to be so hot, but I've got to dip into it. I can't wait. This is going to be my lunch today. And we might have it for dinner tonight as well. I think we will. Watch this. When I looky there. With it. Now listen, what I didn't tell you, and if you want, when you're adding your spices, you can add a little bit of garlic powder if you want, a little bit of onion powder. I chose not to. I thought about it. And I chose not to. Look at that. We've already tasted it, but I'm going to taste it again. I tell you, before I do that, I'm going to fix me a glass of tea. I told you how I made my tea. So now I've got to have some. There's nothing more refreshing than a fresh glass of sweet iced tea. And using my nugget ice machine, I just love it. Don't you love that little ice? Oh my goodness, y'all. That is so refreshing. And it's not too sweet. Let's take a bite. Now I'm going to show you a little twist. You may have seen this. Remember the chili that we made the other day? And I froze what was left over? I got some out. I defrosted it, and I just heated it up just a little bit in the microwave. Watch this. You talk about delicious. Put you some on top of this macaroni and cheese. I'm going to go enjoy this for my lunch today. Can you see Miss Patchy sitting out on the porch? I think you can. She's been in and out. It's been cool and rainy and wet. She goes in and out. She does her thing. Anyway, I appreciate you joining me today, and I hope you'll try my macaroni and cheese and let me know what you think about it. And if you add some chili on top, let me know. It doesn't have to be homemade chili. You can use canned chili if you have a favorite. Nothing wrong with it. Listen, we take shortcuts where we can.